So we were talking about sales quota yesterday, and I would like to finish that topic today. Just to do a recap, yesterday we were solving a problem, and many of you had shared the answers with me. I would just share that again with you so that we are absolutely clear with how to solve that problem. So I hope the screen is visible. This was the problem. It spoke about that there are two salespeople and they have the same targets. So let me most probably remove the working that we did yesterday. Yeah, so there were these two salespeople, and as we said, it's the same sales target or the quotas that were given to them. So salesperson number 1 and salesperson 2, they both had to generate a revenue of 20,000 for product A and product B each, and a revenue of 10,000 for product C. We explained the logic that sometimes what happens is in a company, so there may be products which are easy to sell, comparatively easy to sell, and maybe A and B belong to that category, and therefore the weight given to them is 1. On the other hand, C may be a newly launched product, and it was difficult to sell it, and therefore the effort required to sell it is twice, and therefore the weight given to it is 2. What is interesting to note is that both the salespeople, 1 and 2, have generated a revenue of 44,000. So salesperson 1 has also generated 44,000, and salesperson 2 has also generated 44,000, though the way they have generated 44,000 is different. Salesperson number 1 has met the revenue of 20,000 each for A and B, but for C, instead of 10,000, he's just been able to generate 4,000. On the other hand, salesperson number 2, he has sold 16,000 and 18,000 respectively of product A and B, and he has met the entire target of product C, which is 10,000. And then we did the working. For those of you who did not understand by any chance yesterday, just a quick recap of how we did the working. So for salesperson number 1, it was 20,000 at any point of time. If you don't understand, unmute yourself and let me know. So it was 20,000 into 1, and therefore 20,000. For salesperson number 2, it was 16,000 into 1. Why 1? Because that's the weight given. So therefore it was 16,000. For product B, again, 20,000 for salesperson number 1 and 18,000 for salesperson number 2. For product C, 8,000 for salesperson number 1. Why 8,000? Because 4,000 into 2, and 20,000 for salesperson number 2. When we added all this, for salesperson number 1, it was 48,000, and for salesperson number 2, it was 54,000. I hope I'm right. Yes, 54,000. If you further want to do it, so if you want to give points, what do we do? It will be 48,000 divided by 4. Why 4? Because look at the weights. 1 plus 1 plus 2, 4. Divided by 4, which is equal to which is equal to 12,000 if you want, and which effectively, which is just a way to show how much the importance. And similarly, the sales number 2, it will be, you don't have to do this because you've already proved the point. For the other person, it will be, okay? And therefore, though they have generated the same revenue, if the salesperson number 2 is more valuable to us because he has taken on the challenge. He has taken on the challenge to sell the product which is difficult to sell. He has taken on the challenge to generate the same revenue and yet at the same time not run away from the difficult task, but accepted the challenge. And therefore, while salesperson number 1 is more of a core worker, salesperson number 2 is most probably can be groomed to be a leader. As I said yesterday, at all points of time in a company, we are looking at not just the present, but we are also looking at tomorrow, the future, and at any point of time, we are looking how to groom the leaders for tomorrow. To help you understand the sales quota in a better manner, I have just tried to sort of identify it with your everyday life, and I'm not really sure whether the way I have done it is correct or not. Would be happy to hear your opinions. So I'm sharing my screen with you. Yeah, so if you look at it, if you just look at how a student moves, how the student evaluated, so you have exams. The exams are same for everyone. In the exams, for these exams, the question paper that is given, every student gives answers according to his capability, which means every student performs, and this performance, as I have said a number of times, is a product of your motivation and training. So a student who has been learning regularly, a student who has been revising regularly, and a student who is motivated will maybe perform better than a student who has not been revising regularly. Your performance results into marks. So what is the output? The output are the grades. So you get different grades, O, A, B, C, D, and so on. And ultimately, what does all this lead to? It leads to evaluation. And when I say evaluation, marks are just one part of the evaluation. It's a lot many other things. So for example, when you people come to ask for an LOR, yes, marks are important, but the faculty also writes about your performance in extracurricular activities, that is your qualitative performance. So while marks are the quantitative thing, we also talk about your qualitative things, your manners, the way you were, your ability to be part of different things or not be part of different things. It may result, the final evaluation may result in your best outgoing or so on, or the evaluation may result in good riddance, and we are happy that the student is going off finally. Now, let me link it to most probably the corporate world. And okay, my screen is not moving. Give me a minute. Yes, I'll try to share my screen again. Okay, I hope it is visible. If it is not, let me know. So what have I done? Now I have tried to link it to the corporate world, because I always say that the foundation remains the same. So in the corporate world, instead of exams, it's your sales territory and quota, which is the same for everyone. So we discussed when we were doing sales territories that the potential has to be the same for all the sales territory. Similarly, for the sales quota, we saw that it's the same sales quota or the target which was given to the salespeople. However, the achievement of the sales quota depends on the performance of the salesperson, and that depends on his motivation and training. Is he motivated to work, and have we given him the right training, or does he need more training? All this, so a salesperson who performs better. So for example, salesperson number 2 in the example that we just did performed better, and therefore he will get more compensation as compared to salesperson number 1, who for the same question paper, for the same sales quota, did not perform better, and therefore the result is different compensation. What is the final thing? The evaluation. So in a corporate world, it's your growth in the company. So depending on your performance, depending on all this, you may be identified as, you may get your promotions, or you may get awards like the best salesperson, or maybe go back to the case study that we did. These are just some of the options. There will be more options. You may be Ravi, and the company is happy to get rid of you. Please understand that everything is linked, and therefore we need to see this together. We need to understand that one circle, one square, rectangle, whatever, affects the other circles, squares, or rectangles also. I hope I have been able to link it to your, to make more sense, where you understand, where you can link it to your everyday life and understand, oh, this is how it works. To complete the topic of sales quota, as I said, at any point of time, if you have any concern, any issue, any opinion, just unmute yourself and let me know. Okay, let me go back and complete the... Okay, so we solved this and yeah. Okay, but most of the time, see, earlier in the earlier example that we did, we looked, so these were the products. However, in a company, sorry, 1 minute. Yeah, so in a company, there may be other jobs also which a salesperson has to do. So what we have looked at is the sales volume. So the two examples that I shared with you, or the one example that I shared with you, is more about sales volume. Yes, which is extremely important because at the end of the day, that's what generates the revenue for us. However, there are other tasks also which a salesperson has to do. So if you remember, when we were doing the workload method, this was one of the things which we had discussed, and then we had discussed a realistic workload. So a salesperson has to sell 100%, definitely, but he also has to generate new accounts. We can't just go on selling to our existing customers. Business is about today and tomorrow. So while my existing customers are very valuable, I have to retain them. I also have to keep looking for new customers. Therefore, a salesperson also has to get new accounts. He has to also call on prospects, because how will he get new accounts? Only if he most probably visits 50 prospects, then maybe he will get 5 or 6 new accounts. And yes, what about those POPs that have to be displayed, that have to be erected at various places, the promotional material that has to be delivered to our channel members? Who does it? Again, the salesperson, and that's also part of his job. But if I don't include it in his work profile, then why would he do it? It's similar to you. If something is not part of my course, if something is not coming in the exam, then why should I study it? I will only study what is coming in the exam, and therefore before every test, the question is, ma'am, what is coming? What is coming? The salesperson, again, the sales quota is that exam, and therefore he also asks, what is coming? What is coming? So the moment we put sales volume, look at this, very interesting. So he has to generate a revenue of 75,000, and the weight given to it is 3. Why? Because this is the most important for us. New accounts, he has to get 20 new accounts. The weight given to it is 2. Because after that revenue, the new accounts are important to us. How many prospects he has to call? 50. And the weight given to us is, given to the salesperson is 1. Also, please understand, this is also the time when sometimes salespeople, so they may say we visited 50 prospects, but in reality, they may have just visited 45 or 46. And yeah, there are ways to find out by routing and scheduling, but this is one area where sometimes the result. But however, with time, we have developed various technological tools to ensure that they do visit those 50 clients. And finally, displays erected. So he has to share around 150 displays. And again, look at the weight that is given. It is 1. And therefore, what have they done in this particular case? They have multiplied the percentage attained with the weight. So 90 into 3, 75 into 2, 100 into 1. Please understand, there are a lot of ways of solving the problem. They could have also done 67,500 into 3, 15 into 2. Okay? So here they've done 100 into 1, then 90 into 1. So you get 610 divided by 7. And therefore, you understand that these are the points that this salesperson has gained. At this point, maybe let me come back to you for 30 seconds and let me understand, is it clear what I'm talking? Does it make sense? Have you understood what we are discussing? That in the sales quota, the first example that I discussed of the sales quota was only about revenue. However, a salesperson job is not just about selling. He also has to do a lot of other tasks like finding new customers, prospects, promotional materials, so on and so forth. And therefore, that also has to be part of this quota. The moment we did that, we got another problem and we calculated that how much has he attained. Any questions or any concerns at this point of time? Thanks, Ansh. Okay, so we move forward and yeah, so this is, so, okay, now coming back to what I discussed with you the other day, that these are the different types of quotas: monetary, unit, and point sales volume quota. However, these were only related to volume. There are still more types of quotas, and they are sales budget quota. So if you remember, yesterday we were talking about, so a salesperson may have to travel out of Pune to sell the product. He may have to go to most probably Aurangabad, suppose, or he has to go somewhere else. Now he's going to spend petrol. He may have to stay in a hotel. He might have to take the clients out for lunch or whatever. Who will spend this amount? He can't spend it. I mean, that's not from his salary. The company has to reimburse him. But how much should a company reimburse him? And therefore, it has to be there has to be a quota. Quota means target. So you cannot spend more than this on petrol. You cannot spend more than this on the hotel. You cannot spend more than this on lunch, dinner, whatever. You have to give those limits so that the salesperson also understands, okay, this is what I can spend. This is the maximum. Because please understand, all this is included when we do the pricing. Sales activity quota. So again, activity quota I just showed you. So for example, he has to visit 50 more prospects, or he has to distribute 150 promotional material. So it's an activity. Okay, the outcome is what? The outcome is he distributed 150 promotional material. What is combination quota? When you combine all of this. So we just did it, and I showed you an example. So you have to sell, you have to generate new accounts, you have to also distribute the promotional material, you also have to visit the prospects, maybe you also have to handle complaints, so on and so forth. And that whole syllabus helps in defining his exam, or the whole thing helps in defining his target. And this is what we saw. Okay, obviously all this results, so if I go back, I said your performance, so all this will result in your compensation. And so yeah, go back. If you achieve your sales quota well, if you give your answers well in the exams, you get marks. If you achieve your sales quota well, then you are compensated, right? So obviously, the next topic that comes into the picture is compensation. Maybe at this point of time, I would like to understand from you as to what you think is compensation. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to share this with you, and I would like you to come on this page. So I have shared it on your email ID. If you people can come on this page and help me understand that what, according to you, is compensation. Yeah. So as you join, all I want you to do is share your opinion of what, according to you, is compensation. I'm not looking for some great book definition or anything. I want to understand your views. So you can either use a text box to write your views, or you can use the sticky notes to write your views. So for those who have already joined, Meera, Mohammed Ibrahim, Sarthak, Shweta, Divija, maybe you can share what you think, according to you, what is compensation.